Thank you so much, Lynn. And listen, folks, you are in for a great joy this evening. And again, kind of forgive my voice a little bit. A little bit of the pollen here in the southeast is kind of having a little bit of effect on my voice. But listen, like I said, you are in for such a great opportunity tonight to see a great presentation by who I believe is our company's, but not just our company's greatest presenter, but one of the greatest presenters I've ever seen in 51 years in the financial services business. Folks, do this right now. Please get a pencil and a pad, because I want you to make some notes. But I want to introduce my good friend and my brother in the Lord, Lynn Spencer. Lynn and his beautiful wife, Carmen, actually lead our team. Well, I'm an executive director, but Lynn's one of our company's partners. But you're in for a great voice. He was one of the 10 original agents. He knows our product. He knows our concept. He knows our presentations better than anyone. But tonight, like I said, you're in for a great opportunity. So Lynn, my friend, take us away.
Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate that introduction tonight. And again, welcome everybody. I want to start out tonight with a very simple and yet powerful question. Friends, would you invest as little as $149 per month for 48 months, or if you prefer, $49.95 one time, in order to achieve all of the following? Earn up to $5,000 a week or more, buy homes for up to 50% less. That's interesting. Own up to 5 homes debt-free in as little as 15 years, retire or even maybe semi-retire in as little as 15 years, and earn up to as much as $15,000 or more per month in passive income during your retirement. I don't know about you guys, but I would invest $149 a month for any one of those line items, let alone all of them. Those are all incredibly powerful returns on investment. Well, friends, what you're going to see tonight is something that you have most likely never seen before. And I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that if you said no to those questions, then feel free to bail. This is not for you. But if you said yes to those questions, then get ready, because your life is about to change in a big way. Welcome to Half Price Homes, a better, faster, smarter way to achieve a secure financial future. Just think about that name, Half Price Homes. How many people do you know that would love to buy homes for half price? That's so incredible. Now, you're probably thinking, that's too good to be true. Maybe some of you are thinking, I don't want to buy a rundown home that needs a lot of repairs. No, friends, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about whatever home you want to buy, brand new, 1-year-old, $500,000, $1 million homes. We're talking about any home you want to buy for as much as half price. Yes, friends, we're going to show you tonight in this presentation how you can go from renter to home owner to real estate investor for as little as $149 per month. That's right. $149 a month buys you the intelligent guidance system that you're going to see here tonight, that will show you in real time every single day exactly what you need to do to go from renter to homeowner to real estate investor. And I want to emphasize the word home owner, not home buyer, home owner. Just imagine how different your life will be a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. Imagine how different your life would be if you were completely debt-free and earning $15,000 or more per month in residual income every single month. Friends, it's not only possible, it's absolutely achievable with United Financial Freedom. And best of all, unlike traditional real estate investing, where you only get to keep a small margin of profit, which is typically the difference between the rent that you receive and the mortgage you pay. No, we're talking about something where you own your properties free and clear, all of them, which means You get to keep 100% of the rental profits. You don't have to share any of the money that you receive with the bank or a mortgage company. Friends, that changes everything. That literally changes everything. Even if you currently rent, even if you don't yet own your own home, but you'd like to buy a home and you'd like to own it fast, friends, this is for you. I'm not joking when I tell you this is the real deal. You can go from renter to homeowner to real estate investor and do it faster and easier than you may have thought possible. But first, let's see what the average home really costs. This article caught my eye. It's just 2 or 3 days, well, 5 days. 5 days ago, this article came out on Zillow. And it says there's now 233 cities across the United States where a starter home costs $1 million. Think about that. So if you're one of the literally 45 million plus renters in this country, you're probably in the situation where you're thinking there is no way that we're going to be able to buy our own home, let alone do any real estate investing. I mean, that's just that's crazy. The pricing and the cost of a home and the cost of housing is literally rapidly deteriorating in this country, and it's no longer the American dream. Well, what is the national mortgage interest rate as of today? As of Monday this week, yesterday, it's 6.85%. So let's say that you don't live in one of those 233 cities where the starter home is $1 million. Let's say that you live elsewhere. And let's say the starter homes in your area are 500,000, 600,000, whatever, 700,000, somewhere in that range. Let's say that you have a mortgage of $500,000 over 30 years at that 6.85% interest. Your monthly payment is going to be $32.76. But here's the reality, friends. Over that 30-year period of time, you're not just paying $500,000 or $600,000 for your home. The reality is you're paying, even at just 6.85% interest, you're paying $1,179,000 back to the mortgage company. How much did the home really cost you? A lot of money, almost $1.2 million. And we didn't even include the down payment in that. Now, let's say, for an example, let's just kind of say maybe you can get a 6% mortgage rate. Well, that would be better than 6.85. But the total payments of that mortgage over that 30-year period of time are still $1,079,192. Friends, even if you save 0.85% on the mortgage rate, it's still well over $1 million. So what is that home really costing you? A lot more than you think. That's 115.83% tip, or total interest percentage. I want to show you something that you've probably never seen before, but you need to understand this. Every amortized loan, whether it's a car, a truck, a boat, an RV, student loan, and of course mortgages, any amortized loan has to, by law, come with a loan estimate and a closing disclosure. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and these are actually Steve Bishop's clients that were very kind and agreed to allow us to share their information. Here's the first one. They borrowed $395,000. You can see that their APR, their annual percentage rate, is 7.26, but look how much interest that amounts to. The banks and the lenders are tacking on an additional $563,416 of interest. Friends, what in the world does this family gain by paying $563,000 of interest? Almost $1 million payback. They only borrowed less than $400,000. And they're thinking, man, I thought our interest rate was 7.269. Well, the APR is, but did you see what it says right there on the closing disclosure in big bold letters? It says APR is the annual rate, but it's not the interest rate you're paying on this loan. This is not your interest rate. Did you know that, friends? This is not your interest rate. Well, if that's not my interest rate, what is? Oh, it's this big number down at the bottom. And friends, this is the banking document. I didn't make this up. This is the mortgage company's loan document that says, yeah, you're going to pay us a big tip. They call it total interest percentage. Over the life of the loan, you're going to pay 130.8%, 130% interest. Friends, would you have signed up for that loan if you would have really understood what you were paying? That's the problem. Most people don't understand what they're really paying. They simply look at, can I afford the monthly payment? That's all they look at. Here's another one. They borrowed $355,876 on their mortgage. Look how much interest the bank is tacking on top of that, $390,000. Do you realize that the bank is literally saying, you're going to buy us a home at the same time you're paying for yours? And by the way, you're going to buy ours first. That's kind of what the bank is saying. Friends, only a 5.83% APR, but yet the tip, what they're actually paying in interest, yeah, that's 93% over the life of the loan. Friends, you need to be aware of that, because if you're not aware of what you're actually paying, you're going to get stuck in this cycle of debt and you're never going to get ahead financially. So I'm sure you'll agree with me. That's a lot of interest. And what did it buy you? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All of the money that you're paying the banks and the lenders and the mortgage company every month, friends, that literally buys you nothing. Not a doggone thing. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It's bank profit. In fact, the reverse is actually true. Paying all of that interest to the bank is literally preventing you from having your money work for you. You can't have your money working for the bank and working for you at the same time. It just doesn't work that way. So if you're paying a ton of money every month in interest, guess who you're making wealthy? You're making the bank wealthy. So, okay, Lynn, how can I go from renter to home owner to real estate investor? How can I invest as little as $149 a month or just $49.95 one time potentially to earn up to $5,000 a week or more? Buy homes for up to 50% less, any home I choose. Own up to 5 homes debt-free in as little as 15 years. Retire in as little as 15 years. Earn as much as $15,000 or more per month in passive income during retirement. Friends, everything on that list is absolutely achievable for $149 a month. That's it. And it's really this easy. I'm going to show you the exact path that I followed that literally tens of thousands of people are already following in addition to me, Steve being one of them, that makes this process so simple. You're going to be saying, well, why didn't I ever know about that before? Well, because nobody ever shared it with you before. Step 1, are you ready? Register as an independent agent with United Financial Freedom. One-time $149 investment. Should be $149,000 for what you get, but it's not, because we want to make this available for everyone that's serious about getting out of debt and building wealth. Friends, United Financial Freedom offers a very unique agency model business, and I'm going to go into more detail with you on that in a few minutes. But this agency model business is $149 one time. That's it. That's what allows you to start earning up to $5,000 a week or more. Step 2, get on the MMA Platinum 10 money management system from United Financial Freedom. I'm going to show you a demo in a moment that's going to show you one family going from renter to homeowner to real estate investor using the system. And friends, I've already shared with you It's either $49.95 one time, or on approved credit, it's just $149 a month. The Platinum 10 program is literally going to allow you to manage all of your debt, your mortgage, up to 10 mortgages, your existing debt, and efficiently guide you every day through the process of paying off all of your debts in as little as 15 years or less. It's going to save you a fortune in interest. The Money Max program has already helped tens of thousands of families pay off over $2.7 billion of principal debt, saving billions of dollars of interest. Friends, this is not a concept. This is not a beta test. We've now been in business for 20 years. This is proven. In fact, our clients, independent from us, even give us a 4.9 rating out of 5 stars on Trustpilot. Friends, that's unheard of in the financial services arena. So step 1, sign up as an agent. Step 2, get on the program. And step 3, simply start inviting people to this presentation and others that we do. But you're going to see your income begin to grow and grow and grow. And as you start earning serious income, you can literally start purchasing homes and watch your real estate portfolio grow. So friends, let me ask you this. Who do you know that also would love to get out of debt, love to earn more money, and love to have a solid and secure financial future? I'm guessing you probably know a lot of people. Here's the reality. How many people do you know that are renting right now and they would love to own a home? They would love to, but they're buried in debt and they've given up on their dream of home ownership. Friends, you'll see news articles almost daily now coming out and saying people are giving up on the American dream. Why? Because owning a home is now perceived as being too expensive. And the idea of real estate investing, that really seems out of reach for most families. So let's take a look at an example family. This is their debt when they started out as renter. This is Bob and Susie. And you're going to see here that they've got some consumer debt. They've got an American Express, a car loan, Discover card, MasterCard, the student loan, the truck loan, and the Visa. And yes, I even added in the cost of the Platinum 10 program for this family. So it's added in right there. You'll see that it's $49.95 one time, or if they finance it, it's $149 a month. This family with that MMA program added in has $106,000 of consumer debt. Even without the program, it's still over $100,000. And you already, I'm sure, recognize right along with me that they're thinking, man, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get out of renting and buy a home. How are we going to pay all of these debts off? Because this is their income and expenses when they started out as renters. Now they make decent money. Susie's bringing home $1,850 biweekly. Bob's bringing home $1,750 biweekly, combined about $7,800 a month. And you can see what their rent is and their groceries and daycare and bills and utilities and tithing and everything else. They've got everything in there budgeted. And they've only got $133 a month left over at the end of the month. $133, friends, with $100,000 hanging over their heads. They're thinking, yeah, I don't know when we're going to be able to get out of debt. What I didn't show you on that previous screen is that just the student loan itself would have taken them 19 years to pay off if they followed the bank's plan. The truck would have taken them 7 years, but they were smart. They got on the MMA program and it says, nope, it's not going to be 19 years of debt. You're going to be debt-free in just 6 years. And save $26,000. Just get rid of that consumer debt in 6 years. Pretty awesome with only $133 a month left over at the end of the month, right? Pretty awesome. Now, this is their MMA dashboard. And friends, this is what makes the Money Max account unique and different than every other financial program out there. There are literally hundreds of thousands of mathematical algorithms, banking formulas, factorial math, hundreds of thousands of these formulas in the background that's tearing down every factor, every piece of their financial information. How much money they make, when are they paid? How is each one of those debts structured? Are the debts open-end or closed-end? Are they amortized? How is the debt structured? How much of each one of those debts is going to go to principal? How much is interest? And it's looking at their monthly expenses. It's bringing the whole picture together through hundreds of thousands of mathematical formulas. And it's putting together a precise action plan for Bob and Susie. All they have to do, follow the action plan. That's it. That's how simple this is. It moves, it ebbs and flows, it's dynamic. As their picture changes, so does the numbers. Everything is dynamic. Friends, you don't pay the same amount of money at the grocery store this week that you did last week. You don't pay the same amount on utilities this month that you did last month. You don't pay the same amount buying gas this week as you did last week. This program is built to change. It's dynamic, which makes it incredibly unique and powerful. And I'm going to show you a little example of it tonight, but you can see this is showing them exactly what to do, when to do it, to save the most amount of money and time possible. It's that simple. Now, Bob and Susie are looking at this and thinking, man, this is really, really good, but 6 years, we'd really like to get into our own home and stop being renters. So what if we joined United Financial Freedom as agents? And what if we just did it part-time? So they go in and they add $2,000 a month part-time. Friends, what does that mean? It means maybe 4 to 5 hours per month to earn the extra $2,000. You'll see why I'm saying that in a moment. But with that little part-time income, that extra 4 or 5 hours a month that they're investing in themselves, look at what it's going to do for Bob and Susie. Now they're going to be debt-free in 2.5 years, 2.5 years, and save $38,000. Does that change things for Bob and Susie? Better believe it. I mean, that's 7.77 times more than their initial MMA investment. 7.7 times more back in their pocket than they invested, and we're just getting started. Now, let's add in the money that Bob and Susie are going to need for a down payment on a mortgage. We all know that you've got to have the down payment for the mortgage, right? So let's add that in. Let's go into their account tab and put in that they need $120,000 saved up for a down payment on a mortgage. Let's go ahead and put that in. When they add that in, that takes them to 5.2 years. But we're not done yet. They're still saving $19,000. We're not done yet. We're also going to say, hey, we need to do better than 5.2 years. So Bob and Susie decide, why are we beating ourselves up with our JOBs? Seriously, why are we doing that? We could be earning a lot more money and have a lot more freedom with United Financial Freedom. So they decide, what would it look like? We just want to see what it would look like if we went full time with United Financial Freedom. So they change that part-time income, they take out their job income, and they decide, let's put in $5,000 a week full-time income. I promise you, I'm going to show you how they got there when I show you the comp plan. It's powerful and life-changing. Now, let's add in that $500,000 mortgage. $500,000 mortgage that we've been talking about tonight, 6% interest. We're going to make sure that we've got the escrow in there for the insurance and taxes. Everything's in there. And friends, as you can see on the dashboard, Bob and Susie are not only going to have their $106,000 of consumer debt paid for, they're going to own their home, their primary residence, in just 3.9 years. Own it, free and clear. They have the deed in their hands, saving them $600,000. That's paying off all of their existing debt, saving up a down payment, purchasing a brand new home. Friends, could you do all of that in 3.9 years on your own? No, no way. It's not going to happen. But it can happen with United Financial Freedom. And you know what that is? Freedom. Literally freedom. They work when they want to work. Maybe they work 4 days a week. Maybe they take 3-day weekends every weekend. Maybe they work until 2 or 3 p.m. every day and take the rest of the day off. They can go to the kids' school activity. They have total freedom. They have their life back. Now let's fast forward and take a look at what it looks like for Bob and Susie to go from homeowner to real estate investor. All right, we're going to fast forward here and say, okay, now we're going to start adding some rental properties. So you can see that I've added 5 rental properties and I've staggered them. We're going to add the first one September 1st of 2027. The second property gets added February the 1st of 2028. We're staggering them. We're adding a rental property about every 6 months. And we've still got our primary residence in there. We've still got everything in there. And now, because they have equity in their primary residence, we've also added a home equity line of credit. Why did we do that? Because honestly, that home equity line of credit now becomes the vehicle or the tool that Bob and Susie can borrow the down payment money from for all of those rental properties. They no longer have to save up down payments for the rental properties. They can leverage that HELOC, and the program is going to manage it all. It's going to show you exactly how to pay down that HELOC, pay down the mortgages, what order, what priority. It's going to literally guide you and direct you how to do it all as efficiently as possible. So they have the HELOC, they have 5 rental properties. Now let's put in the income. We've got 5 rental properties. Each one of them is going to rent. And friends, I'm going to show you, I'm conservative. These are $500,000 homes. They paid $100,000 down payment on each one, $400,000 mortgage. Those homes would easily rent for $4,500 a month. Even if you wanted to be super competitive, $4,200 a month. I put in $3,000 a month. That's it. I wanted to be conservative. I want to show you what's possible. And I staggered the rental income starting at about the same time that they pick up the rental properties. Bob and Susie are going to have all of that real estate paid for, not only their primary home, but all 5 rental properties paid for free and clear in 11.6 years. And they're going to save $2.3 million of interest. Look at their payoff date. Does that change things for Bob and Susie? Friends, that's one example. We have so many real estate investors on this program. We've got people that just want to go from renter to homeowner. We've got people that want to go from homeowner to debt-free. We've got people that want to go from homeowner to real estate investor. Friends, whatever you want to accomplish, whatever your goals and dreams are, you can do it faster, better. We can customize a plan for you. There's other options available. I simply wanted to show you what's possible tonight. Maybe you only want to go from an apartment to be able to purchase your own home and own it free and clear. Great. If that's all you want to do, we'll save you $1,000 on your MMA program. Not a problem. But if you're serious about building wealth, again, whatever your goals and dreams are, you can achieve them faster, smarter, better with United Financial Freedom and the MMA program. I'm going to switch gears and spend about 10 minutes showing you this insanely lucrative agency model business opportunity and comp plan. Friends, what is an agency model? First and foremost, an agency model, you've probably seen them, you've probably heard about them, but you may not understand it. Have you ever heard of RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Allstate, State Farm, Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, New York Life? I could go on and on. Friends, those are agency model businesses. And we took the best of those agency model comp plans and we put it into ours. I'm only going to show you the first part of it. I'm not even going to get into the depth of how rich this compensation plan is. I'm just going to show you the first part. But this is how you're going to be able to start making up to $5,000 a week or more. When you join as a new associate and you go out and help your first 2 families, The company requires that you work with a certified trainer and that you split your first 2 training sales. So the first 2 training sales, you're going to get about $575. The trainer gets the other $575. And then after that, you get the full commission, about $1,150. And as you help more families, you get promoted. So even at the brand new associate level, after your first 2 training sales, you want to make $5,000 a week, help 5 families a week. It's that simple. And you're earning more than $5,000 a week. Friends, that's just 1 family a day, Monday through Friday. That's achievable. That's doable. That's very, very doable. There are literally 200 million families in this country drowning in debt and would love to have a solution. But it gets even better because not only are you automatically promoted as you help more families and you can move up in ranks, but you have the opportunity to build an agency. I mentioned Coldwell Banker, Remax, Century 21. I mentioned Allstate, State Farm, Morgan Stanley, and New York Life. What if you decided to build an agency? What does that mean? Well, it means from day one, you own your own agency. You're starting your own financial services agency business from day one. And if you decide to introduce it to other people, which is the smart thing to do, and they start helping families along with you, you start to earn overrides, which is the difference between what you're paid and what they are paid. And you can see that not only does your volume count towards getting promoted, but so does theirs. So when you decide to build an agency, their volume combined with your volume gets you promoted and you earn more money. Let me show you an example. But first, even before I do that, these numbers over here on the right-hand side of the screen, these are the differences. So if I'm a managing director and my contract level is $1,800, if I bring on a new associate, that's a $650 spread. I get the difference between what they are paid and what I'm paid. And in fact, once you get up here to director, you're also going to be a certified field trainer, which means that you not only get the $300 spread between your contract level and theirs, you get that extra $575 split on the first 2. Are you starting to see how rich this comp plan is, friends? This is incredible. You could replace your full-time income quick. Very quick. It's all a matter of how fast do you want to help other people. Let me give you just a few examples. Let's say that you're at the director level and you've only got 2 people on your team. That's it, 2 people. You've got a senior associate and an associate. You as the director plus the senior associate and the associate, there's 3 of you. You each go out and help 2 families a week. Your income is $3,800 a week. That's almost $200,000 a year. If you're a senior director and you've got 3 people on your team, 1 at the director level, senior associate and associate level, and you each go out and help 2 families a week. Now as the agency owner, you're making $5,160 a week. That's over $250,000 a year in income. And when you get up here to the executive director level, again, same formula. Let's say you've got 5 people in your agency beside yourself. You've got a managing director, a senior director, and a senior associate, and you plus each one of those 5 people each help 2 families a week. Look at your income. You're knocking on the door of $500,000 a year income. So friends, when I showed you Bob and Susie making $5,000 a week, that's achievable. Friends, you don't have to take a long time to do this. And what's beautiful about this is that you can finance all of the cost of getting started. The $149 down to be an agent, $149 per month to purchase your own MMA Platinum 10 program and be able to accomplish everything that we've shown you tonight. Finance it. Use the bank's money, leverage it, and start making some serious money and allow the program to show you what debts to pay and when to pay them. That's what the program does. It's going to guide you and direct you every step of the way. So friends, I hope you're excited. I hope you start to see a glimpse of what we're doing. We're out to change people's lives in a radical, dramatic way. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready for a brighter future? Friends, you're just one decision away from changing your life. I want you to get back to the person that invited you tonight, get your questions answered, and get started. It's 3 simple steps. Enroll as a UFF agent, purchase the MMA Platinum 10 system, and start sharing this with others. It's that simple.